What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today, I'm really excited to bring you a little bit of a mail call and ramble. So, a couple things that I'm going to be doing today is just kind of going over some thoughts for the channel and then opening a couple pieces of mail. Little light on the mail call this week. Holidays, what can I say, man? What can I say? Before I get into all that, just let me do a quick pocket check today. I have the Kung Wu Tao in the pocket, M390 titanium frame lock, fantastic value, awesome heat treat on here, a little Timascus in the pivot collar, has very nice orange peel to it, and then really cool milling all throughout here. My only complaint, and it's a big one, is this pocket clip. I really hate this pocket clip. It's very pokey. It's very tight here. It actually will cause me to have to fight to pull out from the pants on my jeans because it just sandwiches in there so tight. So Dave, if you're watching this one, if you're interested, don't feel obligated because I'm asking, my brother, because I know I already have two over there that you're kind of looking at. But if you'd be interested in potentially seeing about just a milled titanium pocket clip that would just be able to sit on this some kind of way, even if you have to chamfer down here. I don't think that you do stamp clips like this, which is also very flexible or springy, and it is made reversible here. I know Jay Dizzle on Instagram actually put the Civivi milled titanium pocket clip on here and tapped to get in here. I wanted to try to avoid doing that if at all possible. I'd rather either mill it and do a titanium milled pocket clip, or maybe some type of pin if you wanted to drill like halfway out and put a pin in there so that I would keep it from moving around. I don't know. But if you're interested, just let me know. Outside of that, love the knife, really good ergos. And Dave, it might be something that you'd be interested in potentially checking out because it is relatively full-sized, which I do really like about this particular knife. But anyway, speaking of Dave, I am going to be sending back his Hinderer Eclipse. Great knife, really have enjoyed it. I did cut with it some just to see how thick the geometry is on this, and what can I say? It's a Hinderer. Has a thick geometry, but it will slice. I did go ahead and polish up my brother's edge here because I did cut with it, and when I got towards the end, it wasn't feeling particularly smooth. But as you can see here, it is nice and smooth now. Just grabbed like a little quick piece of paper from something I was cutting on earlier, but edges on it is really good. It definitely looks like one of his work knives anyway. It definitely looks like it's seen some love and been used. Dave, I'm going to be getting this back out to you today because I do have to get G-Man's prize out from the last giveaway, so I'm going to be doing those tonight as well. And speaking of stuff that Dave has, we'll get into this next. Dave has my Synapse XL. That was the aforementioned pocket clip that I was talking about earlier that he's taking a look at. But I loved the Synapse so much that I decided to go ahead and pick up a full titanium Impulse. And you probably already saw this if you caught the pocket knife carries of the week, because this was in there. And I really like this model as well. Lots and lots of room, very big knife. Not quite as big as the Synapse XL, but it's definitely bigger than the regular Synapse. This is probably their second largest knife in their inventory, which was one of the reasons that I picked this up. It's still breaking in, but it has a nice detent. The frame lock is definitely tuned a little bit better than the liner lock or bolster lock, whatever you want to call the one that on the Synapse. So it definitely feels a little bit more snappy, which I do like. And getting my thoughts and impressions on it, you probably noticed I put an edge on it already, and that's because it didn't come with a very good factory edge. But I'll get into all of that when I actually get into the review. Really like this one a lot. I am not sure. I was going to ask Dave to have a look at it to see if this pocket clip looked any different than the Synapse. I don't have it here with me. It looks like it might be ramped down a little bit, but for some reason this one's not bothering me quite as much as the Synapse. Now, this is a 3rd gen, so they might have changed this to come down a little bit. It still sits a little high, and I still feel it poking in the hand, but it's not quite as pokey as the Synapse that he has. The other knife is a knife that I wanted to check out, but I've been waiting for it to come back in stock. And I'm really interested in this one because it is in the budget realm, which you probably could pick up on that due to the fact that it's coming in an Amazon package. And that is going to be a SRM, which I think is Sam Remy, if I recall correctly, knife and tool knife. This one here seemed very interesting to me. I've seen it on a couple other channels, but as you know, watching other channels, the reviewers have a smaller, medium ish size hands, so it makes it kind of hard to tell what this knife is actually going to end up being like until you actually get it in hand yourself. And being a large hand reviewer, I can at least help you if you're looking at, say, like Neves Knives or Stasa or one of those channels where they're more medium-sized hands and they make those medium-sized knives look so big. So, large hand reviewer, if you're interested to see where you land with this one, there you go. Inside a set of a large hands. I forgot what this one's even called. Hold on one second. Ambidextrous access lock blade, red handle, new. Has the model number. What I'll do for myself is when I get back inside and I'm doing the edits for this, I'll throw the name up on the screen so you can see that. But it's a very interesting knife. It's access lock. Oh, it's a little tight out of the box, which makes me wonder, and I'll have to look. This one might be on washers. This feels more like a washer knife than it does a bearing knife. But coated VG10 steel. You can see that there if I zoom in and hold it still long enough. VG10 coated blade, G10 handles, crossbar lock, milled G10 on the inside to reduce weight. This has got to be a steel liner with a G10 onlay. It's really hard to see it though. Nope, it might be full G10. I can't see inside, and I'll have to do a disassembly to see if it has a steel liner or not. And it looks like a G10 back spacer. Now, something that was very interesting about this when I was reading the description, it is a reversible deep carry pocket clip, but it says you can squeeze this together and swap it that way. And it looks a little bit tight, so I'll give some feedback there. But it does, okay, there it goes. I see what you got to do. You got to jiggle it out. Yeah, so it just has these 2 locks here, and it's easy to reverse it without a bolt, which makes me, oh, it feels pretty secure. It's a little wobbly here, but I don't think a bolt would have done anything with that. I think that's because of how it's designed. So, got a review that'll be coming up in a few weeks off of this one. I just need to spend some time with it and get a determination on what I want to do with this one, or get a determination of how I feel about this one to do a review on it. And then I will be doing, I don't know why I put it away, a long-term review on the, or not a long-term review, but after I've carried it a little bit longer, I'll be doing a review on this one. Now, I was able to, I don't think I have any solid sheets of paper here left. I was able to get the edge exactly how I like it for the Impulse. But the problem with this one, oops, sorry, my hand keeps hitting it. Oh, what's going on here today? There we go. Huh. I might need to take a look at that. I know I used it a little bit since I put the edge on it, but it was feeling really good earlier. Yeah, it sounds like it might be a little off. But the issue I was saying is going to be with the Tonto, because as you can tell, the grind is thinner behind the edge here and thicker out on the tip. So I will have to spend a little bit of time working on the edge on the tip. I ended up doing that by hand, and I got it pretty good. because when it was on the guided system, the KME, it was trying to grind the actual tip out there, as you can see, as opposed to the edge. So I ended up having to change the angle and doing that manually. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about with the channel is I've seen where, well, let me back up a little bit. What I've actually experienced with what Dave has done, and from time to time others on occasion will send in a knife for me to check out that I hadn't experienced before, and they kind of just volunteered the knife to me, and I kind of let them know whether or not I wanted to see it. And that's really helped with a couple of things. It helps me get exposure to items that I may not necessarily prioritize as something that I would want to buy, but I find very interesting and want to check it out, right? I liked the XM18. I felt like it was well built. I didn't like the flipper tab. No surprise there. And kind of the same thing with the Eclipse here, and that review, if it's not out, will be coming out as well. But again, just not a big fan of the flipper tab. But would I have bought this knife to experience all the other things that I did enjoy about it? Probably not. And that's where I'm circling back to maybe opening it up a little bit more to any viewers that might be willing to send things into the channel that I had not experienced or have not experienced before, to be able to get the exposure to them. It does help me a little bit with the content and creating the content, because right now I have my inventory is down really low to as low as I've ever had it since probably getting into collecting and reviewing. And the thing is, I may like a knife and don't really want to sacrifice it, but in order to fund the channel, being a smaller channel, it's smart on my part to go ahead and just move the knife along and get the funds freed up to pick up other stuff for the content, so I can, one, experience other knives, because if I kept what I had, I probably would be really slow getting to other knives to experience them, and two, to free up the funds, because I'm not trying to go in debt over this channel, growing this channel, and, you know, reviewing knives, because I enjoy doing that. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Would you be interested in sending your knives in for a review? And, you know, what would it look like? Would it be a full send? You know, no holds barred, cut, carry, disassemble, lube, maintenance? Would it be you kind of determine what happens with the knife as you send it in? Is it something that's going to be an overview where you just want me to hold it, take a look at it, get a feel for it, but maybe not cut with it, or disassemble it, or do anything to your baby? I think I would be, you know, okay with that, depending on the knife. If you're sending me your SRM and you're saying, you know, don't cut with it, don't carry it, then it doesn't really make sense, right? I can go out, grab my own and do that. But maybe you want to send in a Vero, or maybe you want to send in a Hinderer without a flipper tab, which would be great to experience, because that's my biggest complaint, is the flipper tab. I don't even mind so much the real thick geometry or the low heat treat on there, because for a pocket knife that you're carrying to get into Amazon packages and things of that nature, does that really matter? And it probably doesn't. But, you know, I'd be interested to see. I have refrained from doing it for a long time. Same reason that I've refrained from doing the lives for a long time. I'm not super comfortable with handling other people's things. Now, Dave has sent a lot of things to me, and, you know, I feel okay with handling and using his stuff. But in all honesty, I'm very cautious and careful with it. If I'm testing it on cardboard or on paper, I'm doing it in a controlled environment on this tabletop. I clear everything off and bring everything over here, and sometimes I film it and include it in the video. Other times I don't, depending on the time that I have. But, you know, I'm very careful and cautious with it. I double check with him whenever there's something going on outside of just a usual review. And I feel like I would be like that no matter what the item was or who was sending it in. And then, you know, I don't do the lives because I think with the lives it does better for bigger creators because I don't know how much more I would have to talk about. It would really be kind of answering questions, maybe doing sort of like what I'm doing here, where I'm giving you a little bit of a preview of some stuff that'll be coming up on the channel that I got coming, or maybe telling you, you know, that something is coming up that I'm really excited to share with y'all to check it out. If it's something that I might not be able to show at some point in time in the future, and things of that nature. And I think it could be fun, but I would be interested in y'all's feedback. How would you feel about blending in things for reviews, and how would you feel about doing like an occasional live, maybe once a month, maybe once a week or something like that? Would y'all be into that? Would that be something that you'd want to get together and it would be a lot of fun to do? Let me know down in the comments. I'm very curious. But full reviews for the Impulse will be coming up, and for the SRM, I apologize. I don't remember the name of it, and I don't see it anywhere on the package, so I have thrown that on the screen earlier. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, leave a like, consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Thanks to everyone out there that is already subscribed, regularly leaving comments and likes for the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a fantastic week. I love you guys. Until next time, peace.